Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Today we're gonna have a couple articles. I got one about Lord of the Rings, and I got another one um, just talking about some events that happened. Unless we're not gonna get into the events, they're a bunch of bullshit. Everybody knows they're a bunch of bullshit, and we're just gonna yeah. So as you all know, I hope you're all doing well this morning. It's another day in the great state of Missouri. Things are doing what they do, and so on and so forth. Coffee in hand, another day is starting. All right. Today I want to go. Lord of the Rings is one of my all-time favorite franchises ever. The man, you know, Tolkien was one of my heroes, and his books inspired me to write my own books, and I can't wait to get that out. So today, official synopsis for Amazon upcoming Lord of the Rings revealed. This is by the great writer. This is John F. Trent from Abounding in the Comics. First synopsis of Amazon's upcoming Lord of the Rings show has been revealed. Lord of the Rings website, The One Ring, report they have the official synopsis for the showing being held by showrunner J.D. Pine and Patrick McKay. So the Lord of the Rings showrunners described the franchise as epic, diverse, and filled with heart. Right, we'll see. We'll see. The synopsis, which is quite lengthy, begins. Amazon Studios' forthcoming series brings to screens the very first time the heroic legends of the fabled Second Age Middle Earth history. If they keep it to the lore, it'll be great. If they try to go outside of lore and put their own crap and their own spin in it, I don't know. This epic drama is set thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and will take viewers back to an era in which great powers were forged, kingdoms rose to glory and fell to ruin. Unlikely heroes were to be tested. Hope hung by the finest of threads, and the greatest villains that ever flowed from Tolkien's pen threatened to cover the world of darkness. It continues. It then reads, beginning in a time of relevant peace, the series follows a stable cast of characters, both familiar and new, as they confront the long-feared, re-emerging evil to Middle-earth. As the synopsis ends, it reveals a number of locations where the show will take place, from the darkest depths of the Misty Mountains, the majestic forests of the elf capital of Leodon, to the breathtaking island kingdom of Numenor. To the furthest reaches of the map, these kingdoms and characters will carve it out legacies that live on long after they are gone. And it's also supposed to be nudity in it and sex scenes. I guess they want to make a rated R, kind of like, whatever, Witcher and so on and so forth. I don't know if it really belongs in here, but we'll see how they do it. Along with this announcement, The One Ring reports that The Lord of the Rings is planned as a minimum 5-season series. As a minimum 5 seasons. So they at least plan 5 seasons with 8 to 10 episodes per season. So yeah, I wish it was a lot more. But that's the norm. That's the new norm now. They note that the show will begin filming season 1 and 2 back to back in New Zealand beginning this month. So we'll get probably the first season out, and then not too long after that, we'll probably get the second season, if that's true. The fact the show will take place during the Second Age of Middle-earth is not new. When Amazon introduced the Fellowship back in July 2009, they revealed that the show will be taking place. Screenshot of the video exclusively the Second Age. As locations, at least one of them is also hinted to be in a trailer as well. Numenor. See this Numenor? the island human nation. The official Lord of the Rings Twitter account had also previously revealed map location back in 2019. They first wrote 3 rings for the Elven King under the sky. So there's some more maps. I gotta get me maps created for my story. That's one thing I'm missing. Main thing I'm missing is get a map designed for my book. Next row, 7 dwarf lords in their halls of stone. So you got your 7 dwarf. They're starting to write in all the different 9 for the mortal men doomed to die. They added. Next was one for the Dark Lord and his dark throne in the land of Mordor, where the shadow lies. There's Mordor. Okay. Yeah. Finally, they concluded 1 ring to rule them all, the 1 ring to find them, the 1 ring to bring them all, and in darkness bind them in the land of Mordor, where the shadow lies. That's not a new saying. That's been in all of them. MSS Lord of the Rings writer Jennifer Hudson criticized Disney Star Wars treatment of John Boyega's Finn. Lord of the Rings fans will remember that these tweets make up Tolkien Lord of the Rings books. It reads in full. 3 rings. Yeah, we all said dwarf lords, blah blah blah. Yeah. As for the greatest villain, it is referred that this is most likely Sauron, who created the One Ring in an attempt to conquer Arda and the creation of the Ring of Power. However, he would be defeated in the War of the Last Alliance of elves and men. Isildur would cut the One Ring from Isildur's finger, destroying the Dark Lord corporeal form. He would not be completely defeated in this battle, but would rebuild his strength before attempting to reconquer the world during the War of the Rings in the Third Age. He would be defeated by Frodo Baggins, destroyed the One Ring in the fires of Mount Doom. There's a little sneak peek into what they're doing. I'm a skeptic, but I am excited. I'm excited, but I'm also kind of skeptical. As long as they don't go full blown woke, I think this show will be freaking great. We'll have to see. Other than that, we have one thing to mention about this guy. Oh yeah, this is disgusting. I'm not gonna read into this, but if you want to find it, go to Bonding Comics and look this up. But I hope this is just a hack, like someone hacked his account and started spreading this crap, because if this is real, this dude is one sick motherfucker and needs help. Like locked into a nice, funny farm and given lots of meds, because holy shit, this dude is fucked up. I read it. I read some of his stuff, and it's beyond bad. I'm not going to get into it now, but pretty much he messaged girls that he wants to pretty much rip open their chest and eat their hearts and break their ribs while he does his business and all kinds of sick motherfucker. I'm sorry, but if this is real, this dude needs absolute help. All right. As you know, I'm a big Punisher fan, but I'm also a military vet, Marine Corps combat vet. And yes, I disavow the shit that happened in the Capitol. Any kind of violence is unneeded. I don't support violence, especially political violence. This shit is fucking ridiculous. I guess they're saying that some of the protesters that showed up in DC wore skulls on their shirts and stuff, like Punisher shirts. And the actor comes out and says that they're, misguided. They don't understand, they don't understand the character of, the Punisher. They're misguided, lost, and afraid. It goes in this whole thing. Who played Punisher in Marvel Netflix described as sports Donald Trump, who wear the characters of misguided, lost, and afraid. Says both those comments come after YouTube comic tropes called on Marvel Comics to abandon the Punisher. Yeah, so the woke Marvel people want Punisher gone because they don't like his character. They've never liked his character. They always felt his character was, blah blah blah, whatever bullshit. Good coffee, guys. Good coffee. Gotta love it. It's the only thing that keeps me on my feet these days. Anyways, following photos and he was wearing the Punisher logo Donald Trump protest rally in Washington, D.C. earlier this month. Whatever. Comic Trail posted on Twitter that the seditions, whatever, and invaded the Capitol today where the Punisher logo, I say at Marvel either aggressively enforce a trademark so that it isn't printed everywhere or abandon the Punisher completely. He then added, you can't allow your characters to be used by terrorists. They're far from terrorists. Come on. They didn't blow up the fucking building. One person was killed. And it was sad that someone lost their lives, but it wasn't due to the protests. It was due to something completely different. The whole thing was dumb. They went in, they ransacked and dirtied up people's offices. Oh my god! And stole a podium, and I guess a laptop. I don't know. That's nothing. I'm sick of the fucking hypocrisy of all these people. I can respect him as a person, but this bullshit. Dude knows that for the last year, especially Trump supporters have been attacked, threatened, beaten, kicked off every platform, and they literally watched the cities burned from BLM and Antifa, who literally destroyed Portland, like several times, burned down people's businesses in the name of bullshit. We all know it was bullshit because they burned down even the black people's neighborhoods. I've watched so many videos where people are coming out who live there are like, "What are you doing? My apartment's right there. You're setting my apartment on fire. You're setting all my, the only place I can find groceries in the next mile or two. You just set it on fire, looted, and burned it to the ground for no fucking reason because you're pissed about some bullshit media story that came out. It's fucking dumb. Media is responsible for all this shit. All of this shit is the media's fault. Media and politicians. And I don't care who you support. I don't support any side. I'm neutral. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I think they're both the same fucking party. If you think they're any different, you're fooling yourself. They're the circle. There's a giant circle of fucking corrupt pieces of crap who need to be shut down. And yeah, there does need to be investigation to the election. Absolutely. 2 years. 2 years. It was nothing but Russia, Russia, Russia. For 2 years, they said that Russia got into our election stuff and screwed with our elections. But now it's impossible and it's anti-American to want someone to investigate. That's all I ask for. Investigate it. If there is even a shred of doubt that the elections were honest and fair, which there's a lot of doubt. I'm sorry, but your numbers don't go straight and they go whoop and then over. No, that especially when it happened, like 4 o'clock. If it happened during the day when everybody was out there watching it, yeah, okay. Not 4:30 in the fucking morning when everybody's gone. That's bullshit. Everybody knows it. I think they should have investigated. 2 years, we nothing but Russia, Russia, Russia. I think we deserved it. I want evidence. I would say during the Russia investigation, you show me factual evidence where Russia involved themselves in the elections and on purposely got Donald Trump elected, which I don't think is true because I don't think him and Russia are constantly butting heads these last 4 years. Show me proof. I want evidence. I want facts. I want it to go to court. I want to see brought before a court. I want to see, people, and then we'll see what happens from there. But no, when they finally brought it together, it was a lie made up by Hillary Clinton's campaign, and for 2 years they swallowed that shit. Every media out there was like, "Yeah, fuck him. He's a Russia agent." Blah blah blah. Whatever. So people are mad that it looked like an election was stolen. It really does, and he's investigated. But all these courts like, nah, we can't. No, 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 no. We're not gonna. No, that's what. And I watched. This is one of the reasons I left Twitter because I couldn't stand it anymore. That's right. I'm on Minds now. If you want to find me on Minds, go ahead. It's a free speech platform. Say what you want, do what you want. Just don't commit violence against other people for political reasons. Fucking dumb. You know, You can protest, you can shout your lungs out, but as soon as you start striking people for their other political beliefs, that's bullshit. I fought for everybody's rights, not just one. And this guy, he may hate Trump, and so does all these Hollywood dudes. I like some of the things he does, and I don't like some of the things he does. I don't think he's a monster like they all think. I think he's just a man who isn't bought by the deep state, and I absolutely believe in the deep state. I believe there's big tech, China, and corrupt politicians all working together to keep themselves rich and power and keep that sweet, sweet money flowing. And that's all they give a shit about. They don't give a fuck about us at all. We've seen it in the last year. They don't give two shits about the American people. It's all about who gets lucrative, who keeps money flowing through their pocketbooks. That's it. And they're all worthless. And then the watch people like, oh my god, they went into the House of Representatives and took a podium. That place is sacred. What the fuck? When in America did any place in government become fucking sacred? Our country was founded on people being anti-government. We're a bunch of traitors. And all of a sudden now fucking government buildings are sacred, holy spots. No, fuck that. I don't care if YouTube hates me saying this shit. They're probably fucking locking me down right now, but I don't give a shit. If YouTube wants to silence me, it'll be kind of interesting when they have to explain that, a veteran Marine can't speak his mind in a country where he fought for. Can't YouTube? It'd be interesting. No. Following his call tomorrow, kind of banners and punters loans. Okay. Speaking of Iron stated, I've said this before a couple times, but no one actually wants to be the Punisher. He explained, nobody wants to put 3 tours of duty in combat zone with the last one going to Castlefront wrong, come home with a head full of broken glass, see his family machine gunned into bloody awful in front of his eyes, and dedicate the rest of life to cold, bleak, heartless slaughter. Yeah, no one wants that. It doesn't mean they don't like watching The Punisher. The Punisher is one of my favorite characters. Deadpool is my ultimate favorite character. Punisher is like one of my second or third. I like Daredevil. Spider-Man's one of my favorite characters. But I like the difference. Like, I like when, they argue like hero and anti-hero. And, when Deadpool, and the Deadpool movie was fantastic when he literally was like, why not kill the fucker? He's like, you're letting these people live. They're going to break out of jail in a couple weeks. And how many more people are going to suffer because you won't kill them? And that guy tried to make that whole speech about being a hero, and he just plugs him. Makes him throw up. I laughed my ass off at that point because I believe it. I was a Marine. We don't let our fucking terrorists live. If we get captured, well, yeah, we rarely captured anyone. Anderson stated, the people wearing the logo in this context are kidding themselves. Just like the police officer that wore it over the summer, what they actually want to wear is a scary symbol on a t-shirt. Throw their weight on a bit and then go home to their wife and kids and resume everyday life. They thought no harder about the Punisher symbol than the half-wits I saw on Wednesday, the ones waving the stars and stripes while invading the Capitol building. Okay, I don't have a problem right there. You can't wear the stars and stripes and be anti-government? Really? Our Stars and Stripes were founded on anti-federal government. We fought wars against governments. We fought the Civil War against taxation. I have no problem with guys wearing Stars and Stripes and protesting. And Capitol building is nothing sacred. It's a house full of fucking criminals. They're corrupt pieces of shit, every single one of them. And they don't deserve our fucking pity. They don't deserve my respect. They don't deserve shit because they're all in the fucking pockets of big tech. You should be more pissed about Twitter fucking canceling people and YouTube and all these other people who just throw us out because of nothing. Anti-centralized government for sure. Yes. See, America's always been that. We've always been anti-central government. We've always been, hey, as long as the government will fuck with me, we can do whatever the fuck we want. But this last year has shown that our federal government is absolute trash, and they decide who can work, who can't, who should be able to live, who can't, who can go to church and who can't, which is absolutely unconstitutional because freedom of religion, we can go and we can assemble and we can practice our religion no matter where or what the fuck is wrong. I don't give a shit if this plague was the Black Plague and they got bodies in the streets. The government has no right to shut down churches, shut down businesses, or anything. So yeah. Hey, Bobby Campbell, and hey, Ginger Raven, how you guys doing? Okay. So yeah. Okay, he says to say no one is going to suggest that the American flag is now a fascist symbol. Yeah, they've done it for years. How many times have we watched the fucking left burn the fucking American flag? Hey, Roof Korean, yeah, coffee. Fucking love it. Highway, this is a Sterling Renaissance Fair coffee cup. I guess my wife probably got this a long time ago. It's good. Okay, he's like, no one's going to suggest the American flag is now a fascist symbol and should be treated as such. We've watched the left burn, destroy, and treat the American flag literally like shit. I've watched videos where they literally took a shit on the American flag. Don't give me this bullshit where they, no. Just because it would be fascist employee, yes, it really fascist. Come on, fucking, and these people use the same fucking terminology. Oh, you're at work, man. Oh, I understand. I used to have to. I had to go to jail. Now that my wife's doing traveling nursing, so she travels like 3 hours to work and 3 hours back, which kind of sucks. But she's getting paid like good money to be a traveling nurse. So since she's doing that, I am stay-home dad, taking care of the kids, taking care of the house, so far and so forth, so she can not have to worry about it. And we don't have to pay for babysitting because babysitting's fucking expensive as shit. It really is. It's fucking ridiculous. I watched some that were like insane priced. I doubt there's anyone that would suggest that any of these clowns who wore the Punisher skull on January 6th would have acted any different in DC how they would if the character never existed and continued. And then they did what they did because their demented turd of a leader convinced them that the election was stolen. It's not just that. It looked fucking bad. It looked dirty as shit. I'm sorry. But I want an investigation to it. I think it's only fair. 2 years they were screamed about Russia, Russia, Russia. I think this shit was fucking dirty. I think big tech definitely had a hand in. And I think it'd be very interesting if they find out that actually it's not other countries that are fucking with our election, it's big tech and their interests, because that they don't like Trump because Trump exposes too much of their shit. Too much of their dirty laundry has come out in these last 4 years, and they're afraid that more and more is going to come out, and that's why they want him gone. He's not in their pocketbook. If you're ready to take violent action on these bases, then no silly t-shirt you wear will have any bearing on the line you've crossed. In fact, it's completely irrelevant. See, now they're saying that we're the ones that are causing all the bloodiness. We're not. One event where they broke into they didn't even break into Washington. They were let in. We've seen so many videos where the dude just like walked them in the door. I don't pay taxes. Frank is awesome. Yeah, see? Exactly. Mostly the Punisher actor John Wade waiting on the Punisher symbol being worn by protesters. Respond to a tweet. The tweeter Go Ask Alice 136 who wrote, I'm a Punisher fan. No matter how many nut jobs steal his logo, I'm still be a Punisher fan. They don't understand what it truly symbolizes. If they did, they wouldn't wear it, and I'm not going to let them take it from me. Whatever. And he responded, songwriting, I'm with you, B. Beautiful work. These people are misguided, lost, and afraid, and they have nothing to do with Frank stands for or is about. Big love, Jay. Stated back in 2008, he felt honored to play the character, especially whose symbol is used by members of the military. Yes, we wear the skull. I Actually, they stopped letting us wear the skull because it terrified the locals. I remember wearing like face paint myself, the full Punisher skull during a night patrol, and man, we had the locals thinking we were fucking demons and shit. Yeah, immediately after that, they wouldn't let us do it anymore. I feel honored to play the guy who's putting their life on the line to identify with. See, he's saying he honors the military, but then he's like, hey, federal government's awesome. You know how many military members hate the federal government? We do. I was under Obama, and I fucking hated Obama because his decisions with the military were fucking garbage, and he was constantly screwing us over. That sheriff in Texas that blamed Vetch for the reason the sheriff department needed an MRAP. Yeah, I think I remember something about that. Dude, MRAPs are fucking cool. I like the MRAPs. Those things. I hate Humvees. Those things are death traps, but MRAPs are actually pretty cool. My entire tour in Iraq, we did convoy security in Iraq. So we drove from one side of Iraq to the other. I was a gunner, so I got the fucking 50 caliber, the 240. Every once in a while, I would switch back and forth, and I would sit up in the gun, fucking just, and I got to use it. It was fucking, I'll actually tell that story. We were doing a night patrol. Well, we get a message saying that someone's breaking into a local pharmacy and that the locals want us to come help figure out what's going on. They're taking shots. So we drive up. We pull up real quick. This little, it looks like a house with a big wall around it. And these characters are on the other side of the wall and they're shooting around the wall. And fucking, we're in a fucking like MRAP, fully armored MRAP. We pull up. I'm in my gun. We have my gunny who's down he's the head guy. So there were like three of our trucks. And he smacks me in the leg, goes, hey, sit around through the wall. Let them know that they have no defense. And I got the fucking 50 caliber fucking machine gun. So I'm fucking bum. So I'm knocking holes like this fucking big in a wall that's probably this fucking thick. Just boom, and you could see that these guys are not laying on the floor. They're like on the ground. They toss the rifles. You can see them tossing the rifles. Their hands are like shaking, and they're going. And he's like, all right. I think I had enough. Fucking half the wall's gone. So I just fucking took half the wall off with this fucking video. Oh, fucking love that gun. But what's funny is that gun is powerful. Let's say in MRAP, you're fully the 50 cal is fully, completely, stationed into like heavy armor stuff, and I'm still having to put my full body weight down to keep the fucking thing on target because it's trying to pick itself up. It's fucking nuts. Oh damn, dude. Short my army career offered me an IRR after 4 years and tried to reclass me and take away my blue cord. Dude, that sucks. I hated fucking Obama. That guy was he was constantly favoring our enemies over us. He kept limiting us. Like we were in Afghanistan, which is funny is one of our units actually, what was that class? I think they changed the name now, but there was I think it was 0356 or something like that. They're pretty much like the bomb guys. They carry around fucking rocket launcher, and they have all the brain's freezing right now. Explosive material, and they have to learn like all the mathematics and how to cut the explosives. The C4, there it is, C4. They carry all the C4 and stuff like that for us. Oh, you went to a cook? Well, yeah, it's not bad. I was just infantry. I just did my 4, and like I was like, I'm done. I was died like 600 times. I think Lady Luck is done with me. I know when it's my time. Plus, I want to go to college, meet some sexy ladies, and have some fun drinking, partying, stuff like that. That's why I left. Because I was going to never meet a lady in the Marine Corps. It just wasn't going to happen. Where I was I was in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. That's where I was stationed. And if you know anything about the Marine Corps infantry, you're literally, each of you have like a section of the base. And when we were sectioned, there was like no females, because there's no females in the infantry. Imagine that. It's not because you ladies can't fight. It's because men can't handle you dying in front of them. That's the reason we don't have women in combat. Plus, some women are dumb. We had a couple Turk women that came with us, and they had to get flown out of the country because they were stupid. I didn't go cook. I took the risk of 4 years and went on. Okay. Yeah, it sucks, dude. Ugh, fucking Obama. Yeah, I just did my 4. My first tour, I went with an ARTI unit to Iraq because they didn't know what they were doing. For some reason, ARTI unit was doing convoy security. And they're like, we don't know what we're doing, so can so they had a bunch of infantry units send them a couple dudes. And since I wasn't like a team leader, I wasn't, SAW or anything like that at the time, they're like, hey, Cunningham, you don't have any, major section in our squad, so we're sending you. I was like, fuck. So most of them, I think, went to Afghanistan, and I went to Iraq. And then we were supposed to do a MEU too, which fucking sucked. We were supposed to do a MEU. If you guys don't know what a MEU is, it's where Marines join the Navy to get on the boats. They go to different training sections all over the world. It's kind of like a more happier deployment. And you go to Japan, Australia, England, all kinds of places where you train like jungle warfare, and you train in desert warfare and so on. And you work with other country military, like the Afghani army. Not Afghani army. I mean, Australian, Japan. You train with them, but you also get leave on these ports. And my sergeant would tell us when they go to Australia, he had actually, I'll tell you this story real quick. He got to, when his first MEU, he got to Australia. He's young, not married. We were assigned to a career, right? 0311 infantry was what I picked when I got in. That was it. I was infantry. I was grunt, straight up rifleman. And so he got, my sergeant, he tells us a story. He got to us, and then all of a sudden they kept getting balls shot onto, like little tennis balls were being shot onto the ship. And you'd pick one up and it had a number on it. And you get out your little phone, you call that number, and you could hook up with fucking women in Australia. So it's freaking chicks' numbers. And he, no, I mean aircraft carrier, assigned to a carrier, right? Oh no, we actually ended up not going. Yeah, we were supposed to be on an aircraft carrier. It was actually one we did train. We went a couple weeks on training on aircraft carriers. One that was decommissioned, so they recommissioned it just for our training, and then they were supposed to go on it for deployment, and it broke down during our training, so we're stuck out in the middle of nowhere on the sea for like 3 weeks, just waiting for them to fix it. And then they finally got tired of trying to get the ship fixed with us on board, so they had a landing training exercise where we got on like landing crafts and did like a beach landing exercise that in the middle of fucking winter. I'll tell that story later, but that fucking sucked. um, so he got to Australia and he got this number. So he hooks up with this chick, and he tells the story like he hooked up with her. So he wakes up the next morning, and she's freaking naked next to him, and he hears a door open. And he's like, "What the fuck?" He looks over, and the dad walks in, like big Australian dude walks in and goes, "Hey, what do you want for breakfast?" And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Nah, what do you want for breakfast, man?" He's like, "I'll have whatever you're having." And he's like, "All right, good man." And he shuts the door and walks up. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's putting on his pants, and she's like, "It's okay, it's fine. He doesn't care." I'm like, "What the fuck?" So he just went down, had breakfast, and he was telling him how great his daughter is, and he hopes that he considers her a future wife material, and he hopes he enjoyed himself, and hopes she was skilled enough or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, yeah. I'd be like, because here, dude would be dead. Like if I walked in, some dude with my daughter, shit's fucking. I'm like, hi, I'll be right back. Shut the door, go get the fucking shotgun, start loading it. Give the guy just enough time to just get his pants on, so he's out the door running when I blow one of his knees out, and then as he's crawling away, begging for his life. But yeah, so that was a story from one of his muse. I was like, man, I can't wait to go on Mew. And then they canceled it the last fucking minute, like a month before we were supposed to deploy. Yeah, as he's cleaning his bolt action rifle, right? Yeah. I was like, what? He's like, I guess over there they really like the Marines and Navy men because you have a stable career, and they want their daughters to be able to go to America. So they're hoping that one of these Navy guys will fall in love with their daughters, and bring them back to America with them and get married. Of course, he didn't, because he got married later to his wife and has a kid now. I believe he's out now. Yeah. So, what was the other story I was going to say? Oh, the boat landing. Yeah. Um, what if she told you and was an adult? Oh, not in my house. It's just one of those things. Like if you're married or gay, all right, that's fine, whatever. But if they're like dating and she's an adult and he's an adult, first of all, he's not staying in my house. I had kids before we got married. My wife and me got married. I did. I had like 2 kids with her before we officially got married, because it was a while before we get married. We knew we were going to get married. It was, not a big deal. Her parents, her dad hated me at first. Still, I think hates me a little bit, but what can I do? But yeah, I respected him. I respected his house, and I would never do anything with my wife while he was around. Like if I went over to their house, I never did anything in their house, anything close to anything like that. So that's just me. I respected him and his rules. He said, "Hey, don't be doing anything, crazy around me." He says, "If she's out and you guys are at your place or whatever, at her place, and you do stuff together, that's up to you and her. Just don't do it here. Because if I catch you, I'm probably going to kill you." He just has. We had me and her had 2 kids before we got married, and we got married pretty fast. It was funny because we got engaged a while before we actually got married, and then we ended up going to Branson, Missouri. We got married Branson, Missouri, at a tiny place. It was like this little tiny church. I mean, like so small it fit like 5 fucking people. It was like this. She picked it, so it's not something that I was like cheap ass. She was like, "Hey, I don't want a big wedding," because she got married before. She was but they got married like super super fast. They kind of eloped, and she kind of wanted just to like go married. She didn't want a lot of people there. She's like, I just want a smaller wedding. So she picked this little tiny church in Branson. It was behind, like, they had a Photoshop booth. Well, it was like a store, and down you go down this like hill, and it was pretty cute. It was like in the middle of this woods. There's a little church, like a little old fashioned church. And you go in, there's like a couple pews. They had to remove the pews because it's not big enough for anybody to fit in. So it was my dad standing, because my dad's a pastor. So my dad was standing in the front, me and her parents behind us, and the kids and our kids behind us. And yeah, that's clever though. That's trouble. Yeah. So literally it was just us. And then like some people had to stand outside because she had some friends and stuff that came, were bridesmaids and stuff. And like three of them had to stand outside because they couldn't actually get in. And it was so small that I had to, like, when I tried to kneel, I had to make sure I didn't kneel on anybody. So yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty small, but that's what she wanted. So I was like, okay, that's what you want. She really wanted a church where she could find like a spiraling staircase. So when she came down, but she couldn't find one. So she just decided on that one. I was like, okay. But yeah, so that the beach landing, uh, all right. So the beach landing, God, I swear to God, it's annoying. I like cat sounds more like a banshee than a freaking cat. So yeah, the beach landing. So it's winter. So we're on the boat. It's like January, February. Fucking cold as hell out. Um, I have a sick feeling that eventually going to be a mass exodus to Texas and the rural South. Yeah, it's already started, dude. Um, I live in Missouri. I actually, there was a long time where I thought Missouri was kind of dull and stupid and all that. And then this last year, Missouri's been fucking awesome. Because where I live, at least in Missouri, because Kansas City's kind of locked down, but every else is kind of not. Yeah, yeah, freaking annoying sometimes. We haven't been locked down. We had like a month or two this last year that they like everybody has to stay home unless you're. But after like a 2 months, they're like, okay, that's dumb. You're free to go. There's no mandatory masks where I live. Yeah, a lot of people are leaving like California and Florida and Michigan and all those places for more redder states because they're just sick of it, sick of the crap. Well, they're sick of being taxed to death. That's the main reason. But yeah, so we get on this like little old. They were pretty old boats. Like you see them in like the World War II films and stuff when they do the beach landings. The ones that come up on the boat and the thing falls over and you jump off and run in onto the beach. So we're all getting in there. It's freezing fucking cold. We have our packs. We're fully geared because we had to get off the boat and we're going back. And what we're doing is there's supposed to be buses waiting for us on the beach. So we're coming in, water splashing over the sides, and we're fucking cold. I'm getting soaked. Everybody's getting soaked. We're freezing our asses off. We finally hit the beach, and the thing pops down. Well, we're about this deep out in the water, so we're all jumping off the boat, getting soaking. My boots are soaked. My socks are soaked. My pants are soaked. I'm running up to the beach. We get there. We all get to our staging points, and they're like, "Hey, our buses should be here any minute. Put your packs down. Just relax. I know it's cold. We'll be all right." Unfortunately, one of the dudes actually had to hospital because he came out the boat and someone bumped him and he fell in, like fully under the water, and people were like stepping on him because they didn't realize he went under. So they pulled him up, and it's the middle of winter, so he's fully soaked. And the people's socialist Republican Massachusetts. Sucks, dude. So they pull him out. They pull him out of the water. They strip him because he's fucking he's starting to get hyperthermia, so they had to strip him naked. They had to throw a blanket on him. They had to call up an emergency vehicle to come get him and take him back, so he didn't actually end up with hyperthermia. It was really bad. So the rest of us are freezing our asses off. I'm like, I could feel the water still in my boots. We're all freezing because if you're only in the military, we don't have jackets, like big full blown jackets. We have like our regular our t-shirts, and then we have the blouses that go over our t-shirts, and it's pretty much it. So we're just like fucking freezing, holding our packs. I got my beanie on, and I'm just like, damn, it's fucking cold. I'm like, where are these fucking buses? They end up being late, 2 hours late. So we're sitting there on the beach, freezing our asses off for like 2 hours, and people are changing their socks, they change their boots. I decided not to because I figured the bus is going to be here any minute. So I'm like waiting. Finally, I'm like, I can't take it anymore. So I take my boots off and take my wet ass socks off. My feet are blue, like fucking blue. So I put on I had these big, thick, warm wool socks that you get thermal, I think they're called like thermal socks or something. And I put those on. So my feet start warming up. I know the bus is finally and we're all running back, and my gunny, our leaders were pissed because they were like, where the fuck were you? And they're like, oh, we're sorry. Oh, we didn't realize it was today that we were supposed to pick you up until like an hour ago. And when they finally were like, hey, where you go? You're supposed to be gone. And we're like, oh shit. And we're like, really? Fucking mortar pool. Fucking douchebags. You got one job, guys. Make sure the vehicles work and pick us up. So we finally get back to base. So many people are now getting sick and all kind of. It sucked. It was a horrible. That day sucked. But I've had worse days. Worse days. This is the military, man. You get shitty nights. Like, another fucking terrible night was we did a land nav. We were supposed to be back before, night fell, but our lieutenant was in charge. And if anybody knows about the military, lieutenants can't read maps for shit. He's a pretty good lieutenant. I'll give him that. He was a great lieutenant, but he can't read a map for shit. So, and North Carolina has a lot of swamps. So we're going land nav through the swamps. So we're in the middle of fucking nowhere, in the middle of these swamps, just marching through. And we end up getting lost as fuck. And it starts getting dark and more dark. And we're trying to get on the radio, trying to figure our way out of there. So they're just like, hey, hunker down for the night. And it starts raining because it's fucking 1-6. We like to name ourselves 1-6 rain call out because every time we go to the field, no matter what the weather conditions, it would pour. So we're freaking middle of nowhere. We're not prepared for night at all. So I have my tarp. That's all we have is my tarp. So I put my tarp over like 3 of us. So we're cuddling underneath the tarp, freezing our ass up on the ground. So the ground's sucking all our body heat out. Just freezing cold, middle of freaking nowhere. I wake up to the wolf spider like this fucking big sitting right next to me. I was like, oh shit. Oh man, it was fun times. See, the irony is that the state, for some reason, still uses the National Guard to celebrate the Solemn muster from them. Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it sucked. There's some sucky days, but just some fun ass days. There's some days we just laugh, you have fun, drinking with all your buddies. Fields kind of suck when you're out in the field doing the same old stuff over and over and over again. That's the only problem with the infantry. Infantry was pretty great because during the week you were either in the field or you were doing classes or cleaning weapons or whatever they planned for you. The rest of the time you were pretty much not doing shit. There's so many times where I was in infantry like, hey, what are we supposed to be doing right now? They're like, oh, we're just sitting in our rooms. I'm on my computer, or I'm playing on my PlayStation with the guys, or we're all playing, Call of Duty or something, killing each other. Just waiting for somebody to come tell us what to do. And then they would show up like 5 o'clock, like, hey guys, you're off. You can take off your camis, go eat, go do whatever you want. You're free to go. And we're like, oh, okay. Like, all right, so we just do our own things, and but then you had those weeks where you're in the field and you get like 3 hours of sleep because you were doing, you're doing like um different shots, and then you did a night shot, and then what? Be right back one second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Dogs are making some weird ass noises. Yeah, everyone had the LT who held the whole company because he misplaced MVGs, ended up in the garrison all day, all night, waiting for a call from Blue Sky. Yeah, yeah. Our LT was actually pretty good. Like, he wasn't one of those fucking. We've had bad ones. I've had ones that were like arrogant as fuck, thought they knew everything because they went to college. And but this one, he was the one from our second deployment. He was a new LT, brand new to the freaking Marine Corps, boot or hell, but he knew he was a boot. So he came, and the first day we sat down together, him, all of us from the unit or our squad, because he was our squad leader or our lieutenant squad. You know what I mean. Um, and well, technically he was a company lieutenant, not our squad lieutenant. Yeah, that's right. So we all sat down with him, and he's like, "Hey, I know I'm new." And Sergeant B, my sergeant, which is actually pretty famous, you can actually find and he does interviews and stuff. He actually had a really famous picture of him. There's a wall and it's exploding, and he's like ducking under, and he's not wearing anything but his t-shirt. He got big trouble for that one. They're like, "What the fuck you doing in the front lines without your fucking gear, you asshole?" And he's like, "Sorry." But anyways, he sat down with us the first day, and he said, Sergeant B, you had 6 deployments under your belt. So B had 6 combat deployments under him. 6. That's a lot for a sergeant. Dude was a fucking great ass sergeant. Probably one of the best leaders I could ever have asked for. And he's like, Sergeant B, you're going to be in charge. I'll act like I'm in charge, but it's really going to be you. So you tell me what I have to do, and then I'll help. I'll make sure it gets done. Right? And he's like, okay, that's fair. He's like, okay. So Sergeant B helped him out a lot. After our deployment in Afghanistan, he came back, and the dude was promoted to captain and made company commander and company pretty much company can't. I can't think of all the freaking ranks right now. It's been too long. I've been out almost 10 years. I've been out over 10 years now. So yeah, yeah, he was a good lieutenant and became CEO. Yeah, CEO, I think. Yeah, he became CEO. One deployment, he became CEO. That's how good he was, and how much we trust. It was actually pretty funny because our next lieutenant was a douchebag. Oh yeah. Well, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, because ours you have to go to college. There's like the enlisted guys, and then there's the officers. And if you're enlisted, you're pretty much going to stay enlisted. Yeah. So my sergeant became. I think he left our squad and he became something else. And we're about to get out. I have like 3 months left. You guys know how getting out of the military is a fucking pain in the ass. You got to go to all these classes. You got to go turn all your gear in, which is the worst because half the time the people that take your gear are civilians. and they want the gear in the same condition you got it as, which it's not. How many times I went to them with my freaking flat jacket, and they're like, "Oh, sir, you got dirt and blood on your flat jacket. We can't take that like that." I'm like, "I'm a combat vet. Of course, there's blood and dirt on my fucking shit." So I had to go back and constantly scrub it until I could get as much as I could out. Finally, I had to talk to an actual military guy there to finally, he's like, "There's blood on it, really, and you're not taking it?" She's like, "Well, that's, our regulations say we're not supposed to take that kind of stuff." He's like, "Just take it, fucking dick." And he's like, "Fine." But so our lieutenant became the CEO of our unit, and we got this new fucking brand new butter bar fucking dude, and we had like 3 months. If you don't know anything about the Marine Corps, you have unofficial authority. When you deploy, you become a senior. When you're a boot before you deploy. So boots are the lowest of the low totem pole. You're the dude who's doing all the shit. Any working parties, any kind of fucking bullshit, you're doing it because the seniors did it before. And now they're the seniors, and now your job is to do all the shit. And then when you deploy and do combat for the first time, you become a senior Marine. Now your new boots who come into the Marine Corps will become your bitches, pretty much. This is an unspoken just thing we do. And so he was going in there and he was all pissed off because us seniors weren't doing shit. Like, he's like, "Why aren't these fucking Marines doing anything?" And they're like, "Well, sir, they deployed. They fought in combat. They don't have to do shit." He's like, "No, that's ridiculous. I hate that. It's dumb." And he got on to a bunch of us and constantly was trying to get onto us for some stupid ass fucking reason. He actually had this big idea that we should all memorize the entire order process. I don't know if you know anything about the order process, but us grunts, especially us, like the nobody, we're the low grunts. We're not like, squad leaders or, we're not the big guys who need to know, like, all the order, big, because orders go from like general level, which is like fucking books worth, to like us who are just like, "Hey, this time at this place, you're going to do on this route." And that's it. That's all we really need to know. What route we're taking, what the dangers are of that route. Do we know where enemy insurgents may be, blah, blah, blah. That's all we need to know. No, he wants us to learn the general process down to a little bit and memorize that process. That was his thing. Like, for some fucking reason, he wanted, and we were like, "That's fucking dumb." We should have told him to his face. We're like, "That's fucking stupid. It's unnecessary. Nobody needs to learn this shit. We need to have them out there learning how to use their weapons, doing drills. We'll do that for you. We'll drill them. We'll show them how to work their weapons. We'll have them take it apart, put it back together, clean their weapons constantly in the armory, whatever you want. But we're not fucking doing that shit." And he got all fucking butthurt, like fucking butthurt. He was like, "I'm gonna fucking NJP all of you motherfuckers." And we're like, "Okay, try it, bitch." And we literally called him a bitch to his face. And we're like, "Dude, you're a boot. You're a boot ass bitch with a little fucking barn. You went to college. You never seen combat. You don't know shit. So shut the fuck up." And he got super butthurt. So he goes to our captain, our CEO. Guess who our CEO was? Our old lieutenant. So he goes, "These fucking people are disrespectful. Do shit I tell them to." And he's like, "What? Are you sure you're talking about the same guys that I served with?" He's like, "Dude, I was their lieutenant before his last deployment." He's like, "Well, they're fucking pieces of shit." And so he tries to explain what he wants us to do. And our old lieutenant laughed at him. He's like, "Dude, you're a fucking idiot." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you're a fucking moron." He's like, "That's bullshit. You know it. Now shut the fuck up and go. Just go." He's like, "You're a fucking idiot. I don't need to deal with you right now. I have other shit to worry about. They will tell you what to fucking do." Infantry badges. Like, what are you talking about? Like, do we have you served combat kind of like, ribbons? Is that what you're talking about? Where we're like served in Iraq, so Afghanistan ribbons, stuff like that. We have those, but we don't actually wear anything on us. That's they're whatever, just our ranks. Which the army, they like they're nice and they just like stick to you. Marine Corps, we have these little like pins that we have to put in our freaking collars. And when you get promoted, they go, "Congratulations, Breed, you got promoted." And when they do that, the pins actually stick into your bone. Oh, that hurts. But you do it every time because he's like, "Yeah, I fucking made whatever," and then they just. I was only in E3 because I didn't want to get promoted. Because if they wanted to promote me early because they needed team leaders, and they were like, "Coming in, please stay in." I was like, "No, I'm out. Peace. I want to go to college and meet sexy ladies and drink and have fun." So yeah. That dude got laughed. He actually ended up being transferred out. They actually just transferred him out because he was fucking a piece of shit, Lieutenant. That guy. They're like, "You're an idiot. If you can't accept that these people know what they're doing and you don't, then we don't need you here. You could pick any other unit you want." So they sent him to some POGAS unit, and yeah. If you don't know what a POG is, personal other than grunt, it's a term for POG. Marines in the infantry, we make fun of other Marines who aren't infantry by calling them POGs. It's just something we do. It's not to be offensive. That's what they are. They know it. We love them. We would run by it. We do our runs with our cadences, making fun of them for being POGs. My makes the bases, they get all pissed and fucking yell swear words at us. But hey, we're still Marines. We're still brothers. We love each other. We're just gonna mock each other a little bit. We do it to the Army. We mock the Army. Army mocks us. We mock the Navy. The Navy mocks us. It's just something we do. There's always this rivalry between us all, but we do it out of love. Oh, all right. It's past an hour already. My coffee's almost gone. But yeah. The world's crazy, but at least we have each other. This community has been pretty great. I've had a lot of fun with you guys. Cross rifles pinned. Oh, okay. Hey, Makani, now you finally. How you doing, Makani? But yeah, it's just the thing. Like cross rifles pin. Is that like if you went to combat? That just shows that you went to combat. That's interesting. Ours, if we're in our dress uniform, like actually getting out there in our like Charlies or Bravos or whatever, the long sleeves and stuff, we'd have to wear our ribbons. You would see like a ribbon for Iraq, a ribbon for Afghanistan. You see the whatever war zone ribbon. You got your blue. If you got the Purple Heart, you'd have the Purple Heart on you and stuff like that. I never got the Purple Heart. I never took like bodily injury. Like I got blown up once. I got thrown into a wall, but I never took any like physical damage from it. I was just knocked around a bit, but I didn't actually deserve it. And I always think it's funny when like POGs get the combat bad because they're on the base and the base gets tucking shots and the guards are out there, shooting back and they're like inside the little whatever, they get the combat action. Like, hey, you guys were on base when the base got attacked. You get your combat action badge, even though you didn't fire a shot. Congratulations. It's like, oh, I would feel like shit fucking taking that shit. Now, no, I knew some guys who deserved that shit. My sergeant actually took some. He got fucked up that day. I'll actually kind of explain. If I had a piece of paper, I could draw it out. It was probably like one of the worst days of our lives. It was fucking. It was Afghanistan. We were about out. Actually, we were about to leave. There was this building. There's a square. It had a wall that went almost all the way around, and there was like a little building inside. And we've been there before. It has good vantage points to this southern area. We were in Marja, Afghanistan. That's where we were we were deployed. We were the first ones there ever. And where we're up north is where we had taken already. And down the south area, where all this like kind of buildings, farmlands were very unsecured. And they sent us two sergeants from another unit who was supposed to replace us. And they were going to learn the area. So my sergeant says, okay, we know this building. that's down here that has very great view of the rest of this area. So we're gonna take you guys down there. Be careful. There are known enemies in the area, stuff like that. So we get up in the morning. We march them down. They were pretty good sergeants. Like we all met them like the night before. We all had fun talking. Like one of them was engaged, had a kid on the way. The other one had like 2 kids, was married. So it was really a sad day the next day. So we get down there and we go into the gate and we're going around, and I'm literally heading right for this area, like this corner, like straight off, because I was appointment. So I'm going straight to the corner, get up and get ready. So my sergeant yells at me, "Hey, Cunningham, go that way, go to that wall." I was like, "Okay." So I turn around, and I start walking to the wall. Under the wall, there's like this. It's like this, and so we go in, and right where 2 of the sergeants stepped was IEDs. Right underneath the wall, they had placed 2 massive IEDs, one side of the wall and the other side of the wall. And I was headed right for one right at the beginning, and then they told me to turn around and go back. And so what happened was that sergeant stepped on that ID, that sergeant stepped on ID almost at the same time. Boom! Instantly, they were both killed instantly. My sergeant was about right between both of them. So say it's square like this big. He was about right here. Sergeant, both got killed. He gets thrown back. I'm over here. So I hit the wall here, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" We're all fucking confused. There's dust everywhere. I'm sitting there on the ground, like, "What the? I'm all out of it." Our sergeant's just fucking. He's gone. Like he's alive, but he's just like all fucked up. He's just sitting in the middle. He can't hear shit. He's all disoriented. My team leader runs in because he was outside the wall at the time. He runs in, fucking takes command, realizes the sergeant can't hear him, and he gets a sergeant, has the doc come over, check him out. Other doc is running around checking me, checking everybody else. I didn't take any shrapnel on anything. I was fine. I just had my head knocked against the wall pretty hard. I had a Kevlar on, so I was all right. A couple minutes, I was up and back on the wall. So it was all hell. They got a hold of another unit to come down. Another squad rushed to us, helped defend the perimeter while we got our dudes. It was a sad day because both those sergeants just got there that day. They were supposed to replace us, and that's what happens. Shit fucking sucks. And it was really sad because when that shit happens, the docs have no choice. They get out the fucking trash bags, and they're literally picking up dudes' body parts and just trying to find as much body parts as they can find to put in these trash bags so that they can bring them back, sort them out, and send them home to be buried. And it was just, that day was, whew. Camp Phoenix, Cabal. Yeah, we were in Marja. We were the first ones in Marja. It was like really, I think it was like the furthest south anybody's been at the time. It's a very big, flat farm area. And it was one of the biggest places drugs and stuff were going through. It was almost uncontested area for the Afghan or the Taliban. They were sending drugs through that area. 2010, see, I got out in 2010, so it was about Marja was 2007, I believe, 2008, or no, it was 2009 and 10, I believe. It ended like right before. No, man, what was it? Yeah, 2009-10, I think it was when I was there. Cabal, yeah, Cabal was pretty crazy. Camp Phoenix, huh? Yeah, we got to Leatherneck. That's where we were stationed, and then we went to Marja, and then we were the first ones there, so we had to build a base. So we were like in houses trying to build up fobs, and we were constantly moving, and then we finally got our fobs created, and that was nuts. Yeah. Yeah, it was a shitty day. My sergeant was fine. He got all fucked up, and they sent him back. Another guy got sent back. They had like, what was that? Brain injury called traumatic brain injury or whatever, where they like knocks him around hard enough they had to watch him. So we all had to be like, watched for like 24 hours or something like that. I ended up being fine. I just got my ass. I did have shrapnel in my flat jacket. It was actually pretty crazy because it was fucking flunk. The big piece too. It was pretty fucking went right into my flat jacket, but my flat jacket stopped it, so it was just sticking in my flat jacket. So I was sitting there against the wall, like a doctor, because I was cutting him. You okay, man? I was like, yeah. He's like, you got a fucking piece of metal sticking out your chest. I was like, oh, what? And he's like, no. What are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm fine. I don't feel anything. And he's like checking me. I was like, okay, you're good. Your flat jacket stopped it. So I got lucky. But not everybody got lucky that day. That was, oh my God. I was lucky though. I was super fucking lucky because I was literally heading to one of those IEDs. When I first got in that thing, I was beelining straight there until my sergeant goes, no, cutting on with you on the other wall. I was like, all right. That close. There's so many stories. I had like night patrols where I like tripped. There was a night patrol where we were walking, in the middle of a field, and we're trying to be quiet and stuff. Sun just going down, so it's getting kind of dark, and I trip on a hole, and I kind of like this, and I catch myself, and the dude behind me goes, "Oh shit!" I was like, "What?" He's like, "We got combat right." He's like, "Dude, right when you tripped, I saw a round pass right behind your head, like literally." I felt the heat on the round, like singe my neck, like it went right past my head, and it hit. And the dude's behind me is laughing because he's like, "Dude, you almost got fucking nailed." So we had combat right. We took, for firing. Ended up another unit was like right over there, so they also saw what was happening. So they ambushed them, took care of it, and it was, oh my God, was it nuts, dude? I was like, seriously? He's like, dude, yeah, you like literally tripped, and the round went whoop, and I was like, damn. My Army drill sergeant was in Mill Valley. He was in the Respiro documentary. Oh, that's fucking cool, dude. You guys have flat jackets with plate carriers, or use ours. The Army has a lot different ones than we do. See, we had the flat jacket. You have one plate here, one plate in the back, and you got your side plates, and they're inside the flat jacket. Yeah, that's how ours was. I know the Army has some like crazy like arm ones, and like some of them look like freaking bulky as hell. Yeah. Well, just remember the Marine Corps doesn't have nearly as much as the guys in the Army do, because we have to wait till Navy gets all the money. Navy spends all the ones they want, and they're like, "Here's your change. Good luck." So we're always getting screwed on gear and stuff because of the fucking Navy. That's cool though. You're a drill sergeant. Yeah, we had one dude who actually became pretty cool. His name was Gunny Walgren. Let's see if I can find his thingy. Yes, he died. All right, here, let me do this. Let's do this over here real quick. This was our Gunny. This was our cool ass Gunny Walgreen.
CNN, we gotta be done with this.
This is one of the speeches we got right before we ended up at Marjorie.
Marine, you're done. Cameras off. CNN, no, negative.
Dude was fucking
I agree
great.
with one thing
Love
that's
this
been said.
Gunny.
It is about how good you look. These camis make my butt look fucking awesome. I see a whole bunch of do-rags. That motivates the shit out of me. Fucking professionals. Why professionals? Is that what we're called? I think y'all are some crazy goddamn motherfuckers. Not one speech. Now, we've been talking about this. I'm kind of upset about the general speech. I'm kind of upset about the battalion commander speech. I haven't got any fucking goosebumps yet. Have y'all been motivated about this? Oh. I know y'all figured out another secret that the Marine Corps has. We don't tell you shit, and we play games.
Yep.
Man, I knew we were leaving tonight fucking 7 months ago. I didn't tell y'all because we want you to get fucking pissed off. You might be envisioning us when you kill the enemy, but motherfucker, you're gonna be pissed.
Fucking love.
Fuck that. What do y'all want to hear? Y'all want to hear the white sleeves? Okay, I'm not doing the fucking white sleeve. We gotta fucking step across this parade deck and it's goddamn cold. I'm not doing that shit. Sanchez, I don't like you.
Oh.
White sleeve, that's too long. Y'all know John Glenn's speech, right? Did I tell you that yet? All right, we'll do that. We'll do that real quick. Who knows who John Glenn is? Hey, got time. John Glenn. John Glenn, first American to orbit the Earth in space. Killed. Was a senator for the state of Ohio. Oldest man to go back up into space because he's a PT god. Before all of that, he was a fucking Marine. An air winger, though. A pilot. Right, Captain Smith? Right. Have that camera. Get the fuck away from me. John Glenn, 1974, ran for Senate against a politician named Howard Metzenbaum. Howard Metzenbaum was a sorry motherfucker. John Glenn, at this point, was a Marine, first American to orbit the Earth in space. Howard Metzenbaum asked him, how can you run for Senate when you never held a job? What the fuck would you do if somebody said that shit to you? Now, I'm going to change a little bit of this. I can. It's my world. John Glenn said, is that right? I served 23 years in the United States Marine Corps. I fought through 2 wars. I flew 149 missions. My plane was hit by an aircraft fire on 12 different occasions. I was in the space program. It wasn't my job. It was my life that was on the line. And this wasn't a 9-to-5 job where I could take time off to take the daily cash receipts to the bank. I asked you to come with me as I went the other day to a veterans hospital. And you stand there. You look at those men with their mangled bodies. You look them in the eye and tell them that they never held a job. You come with me and visit any Gold Star mother. You look her in the eye and tell her her son never held a job. You come with me to the space program and visit the widows and the orphans of Ed White, Gus Grissom, and Roger Chafee. And you look those kids in the eye and tell them that their dads never held a job. You come with me on this Memorial Day weekend coming up to Arlington National Cemetery, where I got more friends than I'd like to remember. And you stand there. You watch those waving flags. You think about this nation, and you tell me that those people never held a job. Fuck! I'll tell you, Howard Metzenbaum, you should be on your knees every day of your life, thanking God that there are some men who have held a job. And they required a dedication to purpose, a love of country, and a dedication to duty that was more important than life itself. Their self-sacrifice is what made this country fucking possible. Isn't that badass? Fuck you all. Isn't that badass? Hey, Roger that. Hoopy, are you motivated? I see you're too right. Quiet professionals. Fuck all that. Fuck all this talk about doing what you've been trained to do. You all know damn well you get out there and you fucking do shit because of the Marine to your left and the Marine to your fucking right. God, country, and Corps don't matter at that fucking point. Let the Taliban throw the fucking women and children in front. We won't shoot. We'll just fucking creep out around them with a cup of coffee, slap them on the fucking shoulder and say, what the fuck is your problem, bitch? Fuck them. Let them try to fight the United States Marine Corps Conventional. What the fuck is wrong with the stupid motherfuckers? Shoot at me. Bring the AA gun down, bitch. Let's fucking do this. You're going to do what you need to do for fucking each other, not for anybody else. And it's tomorrow, or maybe in a couple days, it might take a little bit longer than that. People in Marshall will be on their knees every day of their fucking life, thanking God that angry, the string has been cut loose. They can't fucking stop us now. What the fuck are they going to do now? Shit, fuck you, get up.
Oh, yeah, fucking well, that dude. Oh, he actually was funny is because he didn't want anybody to videotape that speech. That's why I tell you, everybody shows. And like later, he gets like a call from like a general or something. They're like, "Hey, would you like to write our speeches?" Oh, Cuddy Walker, dude was nuts. That dude was a true blue, fucking crazy ass motherfucker. Like I don't, how many times I'd be on patrol, and I'd be like point man. I usually was point man or on the very back. We would switch back and forth, and I would come around a corner, and he would just be sitting there with a Red Bull, like, "Hey," we're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Give you a second. All right, but let's leave that at that because I gotta get going. Thanks for being here. Stay safe, stay healthy, be good to each other. And I'll see you next time in the mirror, sir. Okay? Have a good one. Gotta get going.